What's up, guys, and good morning. We are back at it in the morning live on this lake in Orlando, Florida. It's Starke Lake. It's a small little lake here. It's actually in Ocoee. And we're going to flip some Kissimmee grass and pads. Probably need to go heavier than this 3/8. But we'll start there. I have to retie. My other one broke off, so we'll see what we need to do. We're gonna flip these edges and then kind of in these little nooks. I'm starting with a little speed worm just because this water is so dark. I don't normally flip one, but we'll see if we find school in action, which tends to happen on this lake, but I don't usually get big ones doing that or good fish, so I just want to focus in this cover, I think, for the most of the day. And I don't have a ton of time this morning. I just wanted to come out and see what's going on over here. It looks like they've sprayed. The canal was empty, um, cleaned out, and then this whole stretch was cleaned out. So I don't know when they sprayed, but they've sprayed. So, that's if it's recently, that's not usually a good sign. But these fish got to eat, right? This isn't a lake I typically do well on. Um, my best size is come flipping though. It's really deep. It's really bullish, and there's not really any offshore cover. There's some structure, but it's just deep. So we're gonna flip around. See if we can get on anything to here. This is the deep north bank. Like I said, the water's dirty, but now that I've fished some of the chain, it's your typical kind of chain color. Dora, Apopka. So we'll just, we're going to flip around and see what we can get on. Probably change some baits. The shoreline cover's grown up kind of thick, so I don't know. I really feel like I need to move up and wait. I had lighter stuff on. See, that's not getting through that thicker stuff the way I want it to. But this semi-grass comes way out. There's actually a lot of shad in this lake. And they've recently introduced hybrid sunshine bass into this lake. So like I said, we got probably a couple hours to fish. I got to work later. So we're gonna just see what we can do. Like I said, this bank, we're in 8 feet right here, so it's a deep little stretch. I mean, these fish should be sitting under here, sitting under here. Actually, a halfway decent rating for today, but I'm not going to be out here when it's supposed to get good, unfortunately. I'd say this is a pretty decent pattern lake. You'll find them on something specific, and you can kind of follow that, whether you're flipping or kind of working out and around the lake. I haven't been out here in a really long time. So, like I said, we're in Ocoee, Florida. If you're tuning in, And we're just going to flip some of this shoreline cover. It's a lot of, that's not really Kissimmee grass. I'm not sure what that is. And pads mixed in. There's Kissimmee grass, pads, and some of this hay grass. I don't know what it is. We got a 5 to 10 mile east wind today. It's blowing on this stretch pretty good already. I'm not liking the way this 3/8 is getting in there. Ooh, I don't know what that was. It's a definite, distinct little tap. Let's see who we got on. We got anybody on this morning? Oh, it's early. Got 4 on. What's going on? Yo, what up? Winter VR. XD guidance strikes. Guidance strikes. Good luck, buddy. Thanks, buddy. Go hit that like, man. So I'm out of here in Ocoee, Florida. We're going to flip some of this deeper shoreline cover on a little lake here. Lake Starke. And I think I got to go up and wait. This I got 3/8 on. I want it to drop in. I don't want to have to finesse it. Dirty water. I'm talking like a Popka dirty. Probably 6 to 8 inches, if that. This lake is never clear. I don't know why. Not seeing any activity. I really like to see a little bit of, I'm not seeing any fry or nothing move when I flip in here. Let's see though, usually you can pick up a pattern on this lake, whether it's pads, isolated pads, just Kissimmee grass with pads, point of pads, something where these fish are using. And I'm just flipping the a little speed worm, and I've never flipped a little speed worm. It's gonna have much weight on it. It's a little light bait, but I figured instead of a Cinco, I've done well here. Usually bet that's actually the best bait, even over like any type of flipping baits. So I figured let's give it a little action. These brims should be in here potentially. Shad, and the water's dirty. Let's give it a little thump. Something moving right there. Not much movement in here this morning, that's for sure. Trying to check this back layer. We got 83-degree water temp, but I'll be honest, in Florida, you just never know. They're going to follow the bait. Wherever the bait is, that's where they're going to be. I don't know if we're going to have to hit it on their nose or what. It's not what I want to see. I'd like to be able to call some fish. That's well, I like to get a couple early bites, quick bites. All right, let's switch this bait up. Having my dirty stuff. Something. Let's try this Cinco. Throw the Cinco around, and then we'll probably need to go up and wait. We got 9. What's up, guys? We out here flipping Central Florida. I'm in actually Ocoee, Florida right now. Flipping this deep shoreline on Lake Starke. you would hit that like if you're on, hit that subscribe if you don't mind. Got a little bit of chirping going on right there. A lot of bait over here. Some bait over there. Very small bait. Wonder why this bait's not in the pads. Well, that was gonna come on. Oh, we got 3 hours. Sweet. I didn't know if we had any more that much memory on this. So we've got this Kissimmee grass slash, I don't know, hay grass and reeds mixed in with it. It's a relatively deep bank. There's some little movement. So if we can see pick up some big girls in here. This lake's really tough for me. I know there's really good fish in here though. Schooling going on, and I'm guessing a couple years ago they put sunshine bass in here, so I'm guessing these fish are probably even getting bigger. I should name this lake the Head Scratcher because most of the times I'm leaving it scratching my head going, what happened? Oh, there he is. There we go. There's a little one. Dark Joker. That's not what we're looking for, is it, guys? There's a little guy right in this little opening. I'm flipping a Cinco right now. I had a speed worm on, but I didn't get any bites. A little speed worm. It's the first time I flipped that, but this water is really dirty. And these brims should be up in here doing their thing. We got, what's up, Orlando? Shore Lake. Yeah. No, it's not. Not this lake. And I'm an offshore guy. This is not an offshore lake. These big girls in this lake, they get in the thick. On these deep, this east bank is certain areas of it. It's I want to say 12 feet maybe on that deep stretch. This stretch here, I mean, we're in 6 feet right here. I mean, there's some deep holes that run up shallow for this cover. Now I'll tell you, and you can't tell anybody, I was out here. I was out here when they were shutting down the lakes for COVID. You guys remember all the ramps got shut down, and I was talking to one of the maintenance guys that was doing it, and I think I was here like a week or so before. I don't think it was that same day. It may have been, but I don't think it was. I think it was a week or so before. I used to fish this lake quite a bit. And they were shocking it. And unfortunately, I didn't have much gas in the boat. I wanted to run over there. So I was like, eh. But I asked him, and he said, yeah, the lady told me she wouldn't tell me where, but they got 3 that were 13. Shocking it. And I saw where they shocked. They were shallow cover. Shocking. This water is so dirty. I mean, you got 6-inch visibility, and I'm sure these fish are used to it. Your standard measurement when you're assessing a lake and you want to go out and pre-fish it, if you got 1 foot visibility, you need to focus 1 to 5 feet deep, just because of the visibility, the sight visibility of these fish. And this lake, like I said, is like 6 inches or so. Let's see what we got. Yeah. So we got 6 to 8 inches. These fish stay shallow, and I think they stay bogged down. Now I've heard there's some good crappie out here in some of that deep water. So, I mean, the crappie out there in the deep water and these sunshine bass, I've caught them out here in 23 feet. These fish should migrate, but they're probably not sitting on the bottom. Now I've heard at night they catch them. The locals on the docks, you know, shiners. These fish move in shallow during at night. But like I said, there's some halfway decent offshore structure in a few areas. Other than that, it's a bowl. Um, and there's no cover. I mean, there's no. I mean, because of the visibility, grass doesn't grow out very far. It does around that canal and then that first corner. But I feel like these fish live in this shallow stuff here. But maybe that's just because my best stringer has come shallow. But it's hard to catch an offshore fish that's not relating to anything unless you got live scope. We're in 5.5. I mean, and you can see, I mean, that bank is way up there. I mean, there's all that skinny water. And a lot of it, it's not really skinny. There's plenty of water up there. You just can't really, I mean, you can get to it if you want to truck through there, but these pads are the furthest I've ever seen them out. They're not usually out this far. So I don't know what's happened. There's usually a couple scattered patches. And then this one might come out a little bit, but I mean it's 30 feet away from the grass. Usually you can get right up in there. If I'm remembering correctly. When's the last time you were out here, OG? If you're still on. A lot of times you got to come down this bank and I'll see fish outside. And like I said, usually this these pads aren't that far out. You start seeing a lot of bait like I did down there. You move out and you start casting and pulling out and get some, but usually it's inside. A couple years ago. Oh, really? You guys haven't had a tournament out here recently? Hey, you guys, Orlando Gardener. He's a local YouTuber here in Orlando. He does gardening. If you guys are into that, you know, check him out, guys. One of the first guys I met out here in Orlando fishing on a lake. I met him out there, and I was doing the YouTube thing. We did a video together a few years ago. A couple years ago, really. Man, that's a while. I figured you might have been out here recently. Not seeing any kind of one little spot. I saw some movement. Other than that, usually I come here and I get sucked into the offshore thing. Um, there's a something over right out from the dock that does some bubbling, and there's usually a ton of bait and a ton of little fish that you can catch on traps, but I've never got any size doing that. And when I had some good days out here, I didn't do videos then. Tempted to go up and wait, but man, you get a heavy weight around these pads, can be a situation. And I feel like these fish should be sitting kind of high, like right under these pads. There should be some bait in here. I mean, dude. There's some real funky, mucky looking pepper grass in here. And the other thing about this lake, I think, when these lakes are dirty, they don't have a good oxygen level. And usually dirty water, that's an indication. I mean, there's plant life, obviously, but there's not offshore grass. Oxygen level gets so bad that these fish have to stay shallow. I mean, of course, like I said, they can be suspended out in deeper water. If that's where the bait is, that's where they're going to be. But this grass, other than this hard grass over here, the stuff away does not look healthy. I'm guessing they've sprayed recently because it grows back pretty quick, that stuff around the canal and the boat ramp. Well, we'll just keep plugging along. Some fry back there popping around. Like I was saying earlier, I got to work tonight. That's why I came out pretty early. Stayed close because I only have a couple hours. Well, all indications would tell me the flipping bite is not happening. Dude, don't try to get my worm. There's a bird over here. Sometimes there's grass around this little bend offshore. It gets shallower up here. Well, guys, maybe we got to get in the inches of water. There's more fry up here, that's for sure. Flopping around. Now it's weird, you talk to people that have lived here 30, 40 years, and they start telling you different stories about these lakes. Oh, they used to be clear, and I mean, I don't know about this one, but I seem like I talked to a local that said this lake's gone way downhill. So I don't know. It's always looked like this since I've been here. How many we got on? What's up, guys? We got 3. Yeah, it is totally tough. Like, this is the lake I started when I first moved to Florida, and then I finally started fishing. I started here, and yeah, it's tough. Really tough. It's dirty. There's not a lot, and I know this. I know the landscape of this lake pretty well, and it's tough. Um, that back area is probably the best area. That back lake. It was in the spring. Andrew Pullman, what's up, brother? Oh, you've never done good out here. You know, and the funny thing, yeah, it's like I said, it was about April. And I got in some, 3, 4 pounders out here flipping. An occasional 3-ish offshore chatterbait. It actually, yeah. I first came down here, red used to be the deal. I threw for red for a while and, traps and stuff. Picked up white, started catching them. That's when I realized red's just not the deal down here like it is north of here, Alabama, Tennessee area. Um, Caught a lot of good, decent fish. one spring when Becky's grandson was here in that back lake, the smaller one, but it was March. They were just loaded in there, but still nothing big. It's just, apparently it gets a ton of pressure, and I know it does from the bank. I've seen some stuff online, on social media. Got one particular dude, I don't think he posts stuff anymore, but he used to post stuff. But he would be out in the middle of the night, freaking windstorms, and he'd catch good fish from the bank, shallow. But I mean, he was out here times that most people wouldn't. Like, and I'm talking like in December, cold, windy. What's up, my dude? Um, yeah, live bait late in the day. I hear. I hear. I don't know if they used to have, well, turn or crappie guys in some of these deeper holes. It seemed like I heard bass in those deeper holes, but I've scanned those holes. You don't see anything. Now, I'm not saying you couldn't come out here with live scope and find something, but I don't know if these fish have just seen it all. Some of these lakes, you have to hit them at the ideal time, or you just don't. Doesn't happen. The lake's pretty low too, though. And I think when the grass does get up, some of these areas that get grass, where the grass does grow, certain times you can trigger them. With the chatterbait afternoon. But I don't know. I don't. There's times I've been out here where I see a lot of boats fishing, but typically not many. So I don't know how much pressure it really gets. Shoreline, yeah. The access points where you can fish from that, I don't know if it's a park or, I guess it's a park. What time is it? 8 o'clock. Yeah, they've they've come out here and sprayed the crap out of this lake. And it's probably one of those popka deals, you know. They come out here. They got to come out here a couple years ago, a couple times a year, and spray, and then all that sediment just sits to the bottom, and it's years and years of that just sitting there. There's no hard bottom. It's all silted in, kind of deal. But usually you can pick up some fish around those docks on that shallow side if the water's up. To me, this is where these fish should live. I mean, you got deep shoreline, deep shoreline cover. So y'all took it off the schedule. So what were the winners winning with? Like 5 pounds? 7 pounds in first place. There we go. Got us one. Bunch of grass and a little bass. Big fish of the day is 1.2 ounces. Here we go, guys. Look at that. Look at his tail. Something has chomped onto him. Wow. I don't know if you guys can see that. He's got a major gash. Well, that's actually smaller than what I'm used to catching out here. Got some pepper grass. It's doesn't have any colors in it. I wouldn't say it's mucked up funky, but not super healthy. So I'm just flipping this red shad Cinco. It's usually the color I throw here. I do better on it. In this dirtier water, when it clears up, I'm usually going with probably a June bug. But during the spawn, they still like, despite the water clarity, they still like green pumpkin. So he was in 2.8 feet of water right here. These fish never look healthy though. I mean, not like that Florida, not like a Popka healthy. Shit, I bet you if you got a five fish limit out of here, you probably won that tournament. Ooh. I love tungsten, but man, when it hits your boat, and the crazy thing is, like, I'm throwing a Cinco, you know, like, to me, you should have the gnarliest kind of water churning, flipping bait. And I flipped them and they just don't. I mean, I've caught them on speed worms out here, not reeling them, dragging them. That's why I started with that, but it's like they don't want any of that. Like a super finesse, dirty lake. Man, I thought that was going to be a big one, guys. I got to admit, I really did. You expect when you're flipping, but it ain't always, a lot of times not that way. And even a decent sized fish, I mean, when you hook them close range, 50 to 70 pound braid, reel, reel all the way drag tight. I mean, it's a lot. It's a lot to. It feels huge. Up close like that, man, they're different. It's a different situation. Now, I wouldn't mind owning this little thing right here. Come hang out on the weekend. I don't know if they own it, if it's separate. Looks like there's something here. And I've got a 7.2 heavy rod. I got 50-pound braid, 4/0. I think this is a Berkeley Fusion hook, 3/8 ounce tungsten weight. Let's see. We got any in this corner. It's kind of a shallow, flat corner. Not seeing much. And I really didn't see any schooling. I saw a couple fish come in, and I almost got sucked into it, but there's big balls. Might be some grass over here. I'm gonna change this bait out. We got on. I know I'm not good at coming back and checking. Mike Fletcher, what's up, buddy? We are in Ocoee, Florida, at a little lake called Lake Starke. Doing a little flipping in this shoreline cover. We'll just start calling this lake Apopka Junior. Because it's so funky. Something, I heard something. I didn't see it though. They seem to be shallow though, I'll tell you that. I mean, the few bites we've gotten, or few fish we've caught every bite we've gotten. But as usual, they were around those little culverts, those areas that are kind of flushed out. Not a ton of cover there. Come on, dude. Not wrapped up? Yes, I am. Good Lord, I'm wrapped up. Jeez. Oh Lord, fishing line too. Look at that crap. Are you serious right now? Oh, that's not good. So we got somebody's fishing line. They left in the pads. Of course they did. And that's freaking great too. Why would you cut your braid off and leave it that much braid? I see it all the time too. Like, how does that even? I mean, you're gonna cut all the line off your reel? Go up and get your line, dude. Look at this, guys. Freaking straightened out hook. And a weight. Somebody shiner fishing. I've never seen such. You guys mess up somebody's equipment. If you're too lazy to get your crap. I mean, look at this. Somebody's braid. They left 20 yards worth of 30 yards worth of braid. They got a weight, and there was a little silver hook dangling. Here it is. Straightened out. In the pads. Put Boy Fishing says the 225. Man, I wish I could be fishing. Fletcher, you been out there? Got a few nice ones out there. Really? I ain't believing that. We've been talking about that. Flipping or what? Now I'm tracking the line everywhere. More line. Really? Cleaning up Orlando, one lake at a time, guys. That's a good way to break a seal on your trolling motor. Burn your trolling motor up. Like literally, you got hung and I don't know. Even if you break off, wouldn't you go get your line? I don't know. I guess not if you were on that dock. Maybe. You got braid, you can't pull that in. So now let's clarify, were you shiner fishing? Or were you bait fishing? And when we say nice ones, what are we talking about here? You talking about 3, 4, 5 pounders? Or are we talking about 2 pounders? actually have seen a guy catch a pretty good one. I mean, I've caught some, you know, occasional threes. That one trip or two trips, fours, but oh, there's some grass over here. That's what I was getting hung in. Some raggedy pepper grass. Let's see how far this grass goes out. Oh wow, it's coming out a little ways here. Might be some fish over here. Some fish sitting right outside this grass. Little hard spot too. Wow, that is some, and I don't know why that pepper grass looks so bad. I mean, they don't target that when they spray. It's kind of, that's kind of surprising. Just putting on a full-size speed worm. Drag it around. You find some halfway decent grass that extends out on a lake where there's not a lot. There was a little bit of, there was some fish at the end of it. The bottom was a little harder, so we'll just drag this around, see if we can pick one up. Wow, that's a nice house right there. Slow reeling this big full-size speed worm. See if anything's looking for breakfast this morning. All right, we gotta go up, move up to a front stretch. Who we got on? Yep, yep. Chatterbait. Oh, okay, 3 to 4s. Okay, that's wow. That's good here. Yeah, briefly. It's it's bad. Worst I've ever seen. Briefly, I didn't. I fished offshore. Oh wow, my day is gonna end. I have a few hours today. Y'all see that catch? That was awesome. I got my towels up here. See, we're at 19 and a half feet. Fish this little corner over here. There we go. If you guys would hit that like for me, and definitely if you're not subscribed to the channel, please consider subscribing. I got probably 15-20 minutes left. Yeah, this is usually pretty grassy area right here. Yeah, you're right about that. You know, one of my early trips to Apopka, I got some line in my prop, and it was leaking oil out of it. We thought it messed that seal up, but it was just wedged up in there, and it was pushing the seal up, so some oil was leaking. So we drained it, refilled it, and the seal was fine. So luckily, we were able to pull that line out without ripping the seal or doing any significant damage to it. But yeah, that can be the death of your equipment, that line, like I was saying. So we got two little ones flipping, that's it. There's a little school in action. There's fish over here, but Just dragging the speed worm, full size speed worm, around. June bug red. I don't know why these fish are so smart in here. What time is it? 9. There's a baby one of those. I've never seen one of those. Oh no, it's one of those red beaked. Thought it was one of those that the birds you always see diving and catching all the fish when you're fishing. I thought it was a small one. Those ugly birds are. It should be a good little spot with this wind blowing in. Nothing. No sign of life. No sign of life. We need proof of life, guys. I didn't even see any sign of those sunshine bass. A little early. We're hanging on right there. Something. I don't know if that's old grass stalks we got. I'm pretty sure there's some logs over there, but I think they're further out. Definitely got some bait around here. I don't really like throwing a chatterbait unless there's some vertical cover. You know, something that you're going to be running it into. I mean, if you're shallow on a bank, that's fine, but there needs to be something kind of coming up that they're relating to. Unless they're schooling, of course. I mean, and I probably wouldn't throw that. I'd probably pick up a trap. There's a little trash over here. Kind of just, this is just a little pocket, a little cove. This is usually one of the better grassy areas. But this is another lake. I mean, when the grass gets up, it doesn't clear the lake up any. And maybe it's just, it's cleared the lake up a little bit, but it's still just dirty enough to where you don't really notice it. I mean, obviously, if it's shallow, it'll get clear looking, but I'm not sure why this lake is the way it is. I guess the years of spray, respray, kill, just that accumulation of garbage. But I want to say maybe this lake was clear at one time. But I talked to somebody that used to live here 40 years ago, and he said it was dirty then. So I don't know. Important to get these speed worms straight so that they swim right. That tail will thump just right when you get them straight. It'll almost look like it's rocking. I mean, it is rocking as that tail's going around. That bait's kind of rocking. Come on, dude. I know there's a fish over there. This is one of those lakes, guys. I don't even know if anybody's listening to me right now, but when I saw, I was like, oh God, I'm going to come out here and wail on them because they're going to be easy to find. They not. And you think, like, when that grass is gone, and they just spread out. I guess they don't group up. They're just, you don't find them unless you have something that's positioning them, something grass, some type of cover that is bringing the bait, which then brings a large enough group of fish to where you can get a visual of what's going on. There's a little action. And sometimes I think, these lakes, they look dirty to us, and, just based off our knowledge, what you should throw, they're used to this water. They can see really good in it. Maybe you're throwing stuff way too obvious. Just throwing this little trap around. A little bit of something in there. A little bit of grass left right here. Looks like something's starting to grow back. Got a fish. Grass. Grass. Look at that. I don't know why this stuff's dying. That's pepper grass. They don't target that, so I don't know why it's dying. Unless killing the other stuff has lowered the oxygen level so low that stuff can't grow. Now it's dying. I mean, see, fish. I mean, they don't want to hang around that. That stuff is not producing oxygen. That is taking oxygen away. But it's the best thing we got in here. So the trap may have served its purpose just by helping us find some of that. So we're gonna roll through this little patch of scattered dead stuff. See if we can scare one into biting. thick right there. Wow, it's really thick. But once again, it's not healthy. So I can tell you, when you find a patch, when you find in this stuff, and then you find a good patch, that's where you got fish. Oh, there's some schooling going on. A little bit. Random little pockets of bait over here, and I'm seeing a little bit of fish come up, which is typical for this spot right here. There's some kind of a bubbler or oxygen releaser over here. They're usually schooling, those sunshine bass are usually schooling over here. Most of the stuff's on the bottom, actually. Bass are on the bottom. So we're in Ocoee, Florida, guys. If you're just tuning in, it's probably in the comments. There's one. Something. Twiggled with it. It's like, that worm's too big, dude. Dude, quit doing that. Yeah. Too much wind. line's too dry, actually. Well, throwing the trap around, see if we can pick something off. Man, it is dead over here. So a little bit of grass that extends out over here. Look at that. And that stuff is, hey, it is. I don't know why they're killing that. Time is at 9:13. Alrighty, guys. I've seen all I need to see of Lake Starke. Now, just to kind of give you if I was gonna stay, I'd probably hit this section. I'd graph this area over here to see if there was grass there, and then I'd probably fish down that bank over there, and then I'd go through the canal to. There's a smaller lake back there. The canal looks tight, but you can get through it. And that area can be good at times. So it's a little shallower, but it's deeper in the middle. But a lot of pads. I never caught any flipping out of those pads though. Jose, what's up, dude? Tight lines, brother. Small waters, what's up, buddy? All right, guys, there's 3 of you. Appreciate it. Hit that like before you get off. We are leaving. I got to work today. I got to work tonight, so just wanted to come out real early, check this lake out. I ain't been out here in a while. And they've torched the grass. It's always dirty, but they've torched it. And they're not grouped up. I flipped most of the day, caught 2 flipping. And that was it. So watch it back if you want to see it. Lake Starke, Ocoee, Florida. And we will see you next time, guys. Appreciate you watching. We out.